all my people uptown, Harlem, Brooklyn, get ready for your main man's Corey Lee, Staten Island, and Boulevard 73, a.k.a. CL Smooth and Bully, the Bronx, your 718 boy. Queens, everybody, everywhere. Yo, party people in the place to be. What's good? It's number one Chief Rock News Universe, your main man, Uncle Freezie, a.k.a. Petty Pendergrass, the trade deadline. And you are now rocking with the 718 boys. They need no introduction, but I'm going to introduce them anyway, right? Y'all know who it is. Mr. We Here. He downstairs representing BK to the fullest. Boulevard Raw, a.k.a. Bully. What's good, boss? You muted. And yo,
my bad.
Yo,
good morning.
Yo, and let us bring in our guy CL Smooth. He is fresh off getting the money, and you know what that means. Representing Queens, Corey Lee is in the building. Lee, what's good, boss?
What's good? What's good? What's up, Thibodeau?
What up, Jose? What's popping, kid?
Chilling, B. And if y'all don't know, y'all got to go to your local liquor store to find out.
Now you know. And if you don't know, now you know.
That's
right.
That's
So everybody, listen. So we got a jam-packed show today. You know what I'm saying? I'm just coming in doing the introductions and all of that stuff. Of course, y'all know this is Corey Lee, baby, right here, the 718 Boys live on your YouTube airways every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. You know what I'm saying? Coming to talk that Knicks talk the way that y'all like to have that Knicks talk to y'all. Lee is going to host. I'm introducing. But we have a special guest today that's going to join us, man. We're super excited about to have the number one Knicks super fan in the universe here with us this morning, right? Hey, chat, put your fire emojis in the chat, man. Put that orange juice down and put your hands together for Knicks super fan Eric King. Mr. King is in the building. What's good?
Salute.
What's going on? Salute back at y'all.
Yeah, man.
718 boys.
We mad excited. As soon as Bully told me he had you on the other line, I was like, yo, Bully gonna be the mayor. He gonna be the mayor of the city one day. He be pulling strings like that. Getting the number one fan in the universe.
Number one.
Here, bro. Come on,
all
bro.
Day.
Yo, we mad excited. He was like, yo, I might be able to get him. And I was like, really? He's like, yeah, you know, he be doing the commercials and stuff. Really? He's like, yo, I might get him to come through, bro. And I was like, bro, if you can get him to come through and bless us, bro, that'll be fire for the universe. You know what I'm saying? Because what it is, hey, Eric, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. With the Knicks universe, and I know you know this firsthand, but Knicks fans be wanting to be in the vicinity, be like adjacent, be around people that have like that pull or that cachet in Knicks universe. So when he said you, I was like, yo, I told him off rip. Go get, bro. You got to get him here, bro. You got to get him. So thank you for rocking with us this morning, bro.
No, thank y'all for having me because it's just as special for me to be on this show. I'm flattered that y'all wanted to have me to be on the 718 show. Yo, that's big. With the 781 boys, yo, that's big.
Yeah, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you, man.
I gotta, but you know, just one other thing, real quick. I can't, we can't really do anything in universe without being like the heart and soul of Knicks universe, bro. Our man backstage means so much to everybody in Knicks universe. The Knicks love him, we love him, the players love him. You know what I'm saying? All he do is represent for the Knicks all the time. I can't say his name. I just got to play his. You know, superstars, they got to come in with an intro, so I got to play his intro.
Let's get it. Y'all be spitting with your flows, I'm just podcasting.
That's right.
On the air every day, I'm just podcasting. You don't know what that mean when I say I'm podcasting. I'm broadcasting these flows with the podcasting. Every day of my life, I'm just podcasting.
Right.
Share my dreams with you, mean I'm podcasting.
What?
You can see my vision through the podcasting. But don't forget J Boogie when I'm broadcasting. I'm podcasting, he's podcasting. I've been spitting this venom since Karate Flicks. When Mr. Sims was sharing nothing but the Knicks. I guess you know by now, I seen some tough years. Now I know the reason why Freezie got them Blorange Tears. Closest
Jay Boogie is in the building.
That was hot. That was hot. I'm feeling that.
Appreciate it, man. Salute, man. 3 capital S's, blessing, health, happiness to everybody on this first Sunday, and not only the first Sunday of February, the first Sunday of the Black History Month that they want to claim. But we know Black History Month is each and every day, man. Shout out to everybody who's in the chat. Hope everybody in the greatest form of health. And shout out to this amazing show. Shout out to the 718. And from the 7+1, I bring the 8, and that's Latrell Sprewell, and the 7-1. Add another 1. I bring the OG and Anomaly, and the 718 also representing for the king that's on. That's the real king, not the king that was here last night. That's the real king right there, Mr. Eric King himself, man.
That's right.
So Mr. Freezie always doing what he doing, man, in amazing ways, man. Hope everybody in the greatest form of health, man. What's happening, fellas?
I need to do a project with Jay Boogie.
There it is.
I need to do a project with Jay Boogie. I like, I'm feeling that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's how I
Jay
do.
Boogie,
Right
that's
there.
Jay Boogie. That's how.
Hey, y'all heard it, so y'all heard it, so that means it's gonna get done. He's gonna get done, because I've been calling guys to come out do music with me, but I ain't had nobody call me out to come do music with them. So we're gonna make sure we get that done. That's breaking news right here on this. You know what I'm saying?
Fire too, y'all.
See, Jay
718
Boogie,
Freezie show.
I have a
Jay Boogie
project
fire.
coming up in summertime. I've already did 3 Knicks projects. All
Right.
right. I got the commercial that you see now, but on YouTube, another thing we was trying to get accepted with the Knicks, we got 2 rap songs, 2 Knicks songs. We did one with Shayna Ashley from Queen of the Ring, Dot Mob. We got a Knicks song.
Okay.
And then we have another one with Black Poet from the Juice Crew.
Okay.
That's on YouTube. So I got 2 major songs there that we be playing. It gets great reviews every time we post it.
Right.
Now I want to do something similar to what K Slade did, where he had over 50 or 100 people rhyming about the Knicks.
Right.
I need Jay Boogie in there.
Man, I'm there. I'm there.
There you go. There it is.
I'm there.
There it is.
Yeah, man.
There it is.
Yeah, man. So salute to the panel, salute to the gents, salute to the chat, salute to all the members of the channel. Man, appreciate y'all being here early on a Sunday morning. Thank y'all for coming through, rocking with us. Lee, I'm gonna just ask a couple of questions and then I'm gonna get out of here and walk my mad bougie pit bull down the street for a little bit.
No doubt.
So first, I'm gonna ask the question to the panel, but I want to see if I can get Eric and Jay Boogie info first, or get their answers first, if y'all don't mind. Right. What I want to ask is for one, how long have you been a Knicks fan, right? And is this moment that we're existing in as a Knicks fan special to you guys? Like this moment, I know we lost to the Lakers last night, but before that, we won 9 in a row. Does this moment remind you of some of the greatest moments that you've experienced as a Knicks fan?
Who's gonna go first?
You.
I go first.
Okay.
Yeah. This right here is remind me so much of the 90s basketball, what we got going on, to me. And during that 90s time, we had a lot of great things. And I'm not just talking about basketball. I'm talking about the whole complete situation of the New York Knicks inside of New York, meaning the office, the basketball team, the fan bases and everything. Only thing that was really, really missing during that time is how how big and humongous all our podcasts and our Twitter situations are going on right now. But I love the fact of how they're playing together, bring that old school basketball mentality, that gut, that grit, that grind, that never give up type basketball. That in the park when you used to play Utah, 1 against 25 guys, that rough basketball we like in the parks and everything, you know what I'm saying? And it's just amazing, for this season to be occurring right now. I'm so happy for the office, more importantly, and I'm happy for the coaching staff, and I'm happy for the fan base, you know what I'm saying? And the team, they just providing everything that they want to give us. I love what's going on. I love the basketball right here, right now that we got going on in the city, and not just the city of New York, throughout the world, because New York, we're worldwide, we gang roll all over the place. You heard him talking last night how I was just at the Charlotte game. It was more fans than at the Charlotte game that was Knicks fans than Charlotte fans. That's how we travel along, man. So that means, we're not just going to the games, we're following games. We're all over the world. So I'm not going to just say New York no more. This is a worldwide organization right now that started, spread amongst the world, man.
Boom.
True indeed. Now, myself, when you ask how long I've been a Knicks fan, I first became a diehard Knicks fan from Bernard King on. Now, before Bernard King, I was a Knicks fan, but I wasn't a diehard Knicks fan because my first love in basketball was Dr. J. Every kid back here on the court wanted to be Dr. J. Then I started liking a little bit also of Magic and Kareem, so I was a Sixer, Laker, Knicks fan from Bernard King on. No other team existed with me. I've been strictly diehard Knicks from Bernard King on, and it's just got more heavy every year since. It's like on a ridiculous level right now. I just bleed orange and blue. And I'm feeling everything about the Knicks right now. I do 1 million events every year, Knicks related. I've been a season ticket holder since 2004. So I'm at the game.
That's 20 years, man. That's a long time, bro.
Yes. Yes. And I'm not giving up my season tickets till I die.
That.
I'll be in heaven watching my Knicks rooting from there.
Yeah, man. Hey, just really quick, I want to bring in one of our family members. We sent the invite to him, man, just to see if he can hang out with us, man. It's Ron from Still Knicks Fans, one of the fastest growing Knicks content channels on YouTube.
Salute.
I think all their names rhyme. I think it's like Ron, Lon, John, Bon, Juan, LeBron. They got everybody named Ron. Ron, what's good, bro?
I'm chilling, man. Thank you for having me. Sorry I couldn't start the show with y'all, man. I appreciate you. Duty calls. I got to do some things around the house, but I'm here. I'm ready.
Yeah, so I have one more question, man. So the moment that we're in right now, Lee, I ain't trying to take over. Trust me, my dog is over here looking at me like he ready to go down the street and see his girl. But this moment that we're in right now is giving us championship level vibes, or giving me championship level vibes. I want to ask Eric first, and then ask Jay Boogie, and then go around the panel just real quick, right? Does this moment right here give you the sensation that this is a championship level team under Tom Thibodeau?
Yes, it does. I believe we're a championship team, but I do have some concerns.
Right.
Okay. The concerns I have, even though I love my team and I believe we can win the chip this year, and I believe if it's done right, we accomplish that goal and get the chip, I'm still always concerned about burnout. You know what I'm saying? When Tibbs coached the Chicago Bulls, you had about 5 or 6 players there who were burnt out, and it went on for a career. It lasted long. You had Joakim Noah, Luol Deng, Carlos Boozer, Derrick Rose. I think it was Heinrich and one other player where he constantly
Keith Bogans
overplays the minutes is just constant burn out. And by the time the playoff comes, you hardly have anything left. They're playing too many minutes. Rip Hamilton, a former player that played for him, alluded to that too, and so did Rasheed Wallace. They criticized him on that as well as the media, and as well as it was somebody else. Reggie Bullard. Once he went to Dallas, he started saying some things. And then even Rose, for the first time when he left and went to Morant's team, he had some things to say where he said the offense and things were better where he was at. You know what I'm saying? So I had some concerns because when they first had he was the sixth coach interview and the one that was hired. If you remember, they interviewed Mark Jackson. They had Kenny Atkinson, Woodson, who became the assistant, Jeff Van Gundy, and Kenny Smith from the TNT crew. Then it was Tibbs, and Tibbs was the one that got the job. And there was at least three of those others that I mentioned that I had on my list that I preferred. Now, Tibbs is doing a good job defensive-wise, and the players are buying into a system that want to play for him. But look at OG Anunoby when he first got here. In all his games he played, he was averaging 44 minutes when he first got here, already just playing extensive minutes. Look how tired Brunson looked yesterday in the fourth quarter.
Right.
You know, it's just so many minutes. But do I think we can win? Yeah, I want to see what addition might come before the February 8th trade deadline and how everything looks when we have a full squad. Because it's going to be a difference when we have Mitchell Robinson in there at the same time with OG. I would like to see what that defense looks like. It's going to be hard for the other team to score.
Ooh. Jay Boogie, what you thinking, Jay Boogie?
I'm right along with Mr. King himself, and I ain't talking about LeBron. I got to keep that in remembrance to the chat. Mr. King is in the building, but I love the situation that we're in right now. Championship is definitely in sight. It's definitely in range. It's in arm's reach. You know what I'm saying? It's just a couple of things that have to be done. That in the show last night, which last night looked like they wore our general down, and the what I wish this was a series against the Lakers so I could see how Tom would come back in game 2, because they're the only ones that really, you know what I'm saying, that wore us down and shut us down late in the game and made it hard for Brunson. So I would like to see how Tom would, you know, react after, you know what I'm saying, being jabbed and see how this counterpunch look like. But a few things have to be done. First thing, we got to get back all the way healthy. That's number one. We get back all the way healthy. I love our situation. Number 2, you gotta go get, and this is the words of Queen. So, you know, I'm repeating what the Queen is saying because I love what somebody else say something. I have to iterate, let it be known. I didn't say it. We need us another bucket getter. I'm not talking about McDonald's restaurant. Take the mop out the bucket and get a bucket. I'm talking about a bucket getter. I'm not talking about a shot maker, a jump shooter. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about a bucket cleared out the way. Game 5, game 6, game 7 type. And then when you know all our plays, I can still get a bucket from off the bench. You know what I'm saying? And if it can go in the starting line, let it go. But we just need somebody else to be helping Brunson out. You know what I'm saying? Especially while Julius is not here, so he don't get wore down coming to a. It's still early in the season. We ain't had the All-Star game, so it's still a couple of moves that need to be made. And I'm quite sure the office is on it. They saw it last night. Hey, we got to protect our general. We can't let him get wore down because we don't want everybody to come back and then he's beat up. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, definitely the championship is in arm's reach. Because we're a defensive-minded mode squad where everybody think they got to get offense. I love the 2 wing defensive players that they went and got. You know, I said on Mr. Ron's show, man, that OG Anunoby, he reminds me so much of Shane Battier, somebody that could just lock down the perimeter, could catch and shoot all over the place. And, you know, Precious is doing the best that he can, but we're still a couple of pieces away. But the first piece is health. Get back healthy. Then fill in the missing blanks, and then I'm ready to fight with anybody in the Eastern Conference getting to that final.
So can I add on to something you said?
I'm sorry.
Can I add on to something he said?
Yeah.
I like what Jay Boogie was just saying, and I just want to add on something because he said that he would love to see what Tom Thibodeau would do if it was a series. Now, going back to that statement right there, the last 2 years on every network, whether it was NBA TV, TNT, ESPN, or whatever, they said that Tom Thibodeau was the only coach out of 16 teams in the playoffs who did not do in-game adjustments in the postseason. And that's another thing that scared me besides his rotation. He doesn't adjust well. He doesn't develop youth players. He needs already established players who knows how to play the game. All our youth players, we trade away. We don't develop them long term. For his system to work, he needs established vets, and that's why he's always going after that. We're not developing team because if you remember, in the off season, our players don't train in the Knicks system in the off season. Randall used to work out with Carmelo. Barrett played with the Canadian team and worked out with other players. Quickly used to train with Damian Lillard in the off season, so on and so on. It's not like there was a Knicks program of development to play with them. Our only development team is the young boys on the G League. We don't develop the young talent. So as what Jay Boogie was saying, to see in a 7-game series, that's where Tom Thibodeau has to step up his game because 1, your rotation minutes, 2, your in-game adjustments. And to add on to what else Jay Boogie said, 3 players I'm interested in by the February 8th trade deadline that I believe can help this team. One is Mikal Bridges on the Knicks. The other one is DeRozan. And the other one is Bruce Brown. You give me one of those 3 players, I believe we have a chip. And I got reasons for that when you want me to elaborate on that in the show.
Right. Let me bring in our brother Ron. Hey, so Ron, you heard what the OG said, right? You heard the OGs mention, you know what I'm saying, this moment, you know what I'm saying, the adjustments, the depth, the adding a piece, the bucket getter, and things of that sort, right? And Lee, when I asked the question, I'm a pass the baton, man, and go try out for running back for the Giants. I heard y'all need a running back.
Come on, man.
I'm just joking.
Too soon, Freezie. Too soon.
But Ron, you heard what the OG said, and it's a lot of what Knicks fans have been saying for maybe 3 years now about added depth in different capacities, right? Like when Jay Boogie said a bucket getter, we've been mentioning that for a few years, right? We've been mentioning Tom Thibodeau not developing at a rate where we feel like it's sustainable for the long term, right? We feel like so as somebody that's a content creator and hears these things often, right? Is there a way that the Knicks front office, and this is 2 parts, right? Is there a way that the Knicks front office can address these issues before Thursday at 3 p.m.? And do you believe they are capable? Lee, thank you for letting me come in and be the rabbit for the show. I'm gonna move out of the way, everybody. Thank y'all for letting me rock just for a little bit. Hey, Mr. Eric, man, it was a pleasure meeting you. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be backstage, man. I'm in everything. Hey, Ron, go ahead when you're ready, bro.
All right, man. Appreciate you, Freezie, as always, and thank you to my guys Corey Lee and Boulevard, the 718 boys, for having me as always, and shout out to Jay Boogie. But Eric, I'm gonna answer Freezie's question, but I had a quick question for you. You work for Transit?
Yes.
I knew it. I could see it, baby. You did that commercial, didn't you?
Yes.
Yes. I don't forget faces, man. I never forget what I see. That's what I'm talking about. And I'll be looking for you, B. When I be in the train, I'll be like, yo, am I gonna see him one day? I know.
Right now I'm on the C line. When I did that commercial, I was
a celebrity, superstar. I told you.
I knew it, man. I don't be forgetting faces. He had a hat on with goggles and everything. And I still knew that was him. Let's go, baby. Anyway, all right. My bad. I just, Yeah, man. My whole thing is, I think the Knicks definitely can make the adjustment to help this team going forward. I think they can put themselves in the right position. I agree with a lot of everything that Eric said with regards to the development. That's a missing factor for the organization. They haven't really done like a real in-depth job. And so some fans might look at it and say, well, they have developed some guys, but some of these young guys don't take the baton and run with it. There's a little truth to that too. But the only thing that I want to err on the side of Eric being correct is there's other teams, organizations that have better development programs. So it's not like we don't develop at all. We just don't do enough of it. And we don't have the right type of program to really cultivate these young players and get the most out of them. There's some questionable things, letting guys work with their own trainers instead of doing, is there some stuff going on there. But to Freezie's question, I do think that by the trade deadline, I do think the Knicks are going to do something. I think they have had the best possible chance to see what this team is. We've been rocking and rolling. They got a chance to witness the chemistry, so they know, oh wait, you know what? Let's not go too crazy. I don't think we need to hit the big button. You know what I mean? We got some stuff over here. They can still do it, but I think they don't. I don't think they feel like they need to do it. So they can make these smaller moves, the Malcolm Brogdons, the Bruce Browns, maybe a DeMar DeRozan. I don't know that whole situation over there. I mean, I don't know. And also, would he be comfortable like in a different role with the Knicks, because we're a different team than those Bulls. So I do think they're going to do something. I feel like at this point, I feel like they need to make 2 acquisitions. They don't have to be big. They just have to be. They have to give us some depth and some volume, because these injuries are definitely not the move. Last night was a very good indicator playing those Lakers, and I knew that was going to happen. On my show on Monday, I predicted that the Knicks were going to win 3 games this week and lose the one to the Lakers. Not because I think the Lakers are better than the Knicks. I just knew that Randall was out, OG was out, so I didn't think we was going to have enough to deal with what they had if both their stars played. I still think if we healthy, we are a much better team than the Lakers. It's just they were healthier than us last night. And they also had a good blueprint for Jalen Brunson, double teaming him, making him uncomfortable all night long. And he didn't have any backup. He didn't have any protection to really. Dante tried his best, but this is where you see that when fans are saying we need a little bit more bench depth, a little bit more scoring. This is why next man up is cool, but sometimes you need next man up to have a little something with him. You know what I mean? So we struggling right now. So I definitely think the Knicks are going to do something. And I also wanted to shout out real quick to Jalen Brunson. I know that's not part of the question, but I mean the man was double teamed all night, no protection. Dude finished with 36, 10, and 6. What? This is a monster. He's a monster. Word. So I just wanted to put that out there.
Can I answer one of your statements that you said about DeRozan?
By all means, not my show. My fault, Corey.
No. I wanted to say something to you though, because you mentioned about what DeRozan. How did you say? Would he want to be here or be in a system? What did you say?
Yeah, would he want to be here in the role that we would have for him? Because he's used to being a starter and everything, and that,
right. Well, if you remember, if you Google DeRozan, he only picked 2 teams he wanted to go to. He listed the Knicks first and the Miami Heat second. So he definitely wants to be here. And I think if he comes here, he still is a starter. He's still averaging, it was either 22 or 24 points this season. He's still averaging. He's a mid-range bucket getter. I think it was Jay Boogie who spoke about saying we need a bucket getter. Sometimes Randall is known to disappear in the postseason. You need that other person to keep things even killed to help out Bronson. Your man DeRozan can still get buckets. He even showed it when we played him head-to-head. He got buckets against us. He plays on both ends of the ball. He steps up more in the postseason. He doesn't get flustered. He's a veteran. He's hungry for a chip. I would love DeRozan. Mikal Bridges has that history with them with the Villanova connection. We have enough assets to get him, because remember, if you're trading for any major piece you want, you got Grimes, you have the expiring contract of Fournier. We have 8 first-round picks, a bunch of second-round picks and swaps that they have listed. We have assets. You also have Jacob Topping and another player on the G League that's making noise too. You have access to package stuff to get trades. And as far as the defense and a guy who can play on both sides of the ball too, that's Bruce Brown. That's why I mentioned those three names. Any one of those three stepping in makes us incredibly deep. Because remember, Double D, DaVincio, he goes to the bench whenever you trade for one of those players because you're not spending a lot of capital in trades to bring in a bench player. You're bringing in a starter. So they're going to come in. Now look at your bench. Deuce will be on your bench. Double D will be on your bench. When Mitchell Robinson comes back, you got Hardesty on your bench. You got Josh Hart on your bench. Because OG is the starter. Josh Hart starting now because OG's there. Look how deep your bench is. You also have Precious. You have Sims. There's not a team in the league we cannot get with.
So maybe we might need to start promoting a new lingo, you know what I'm saying? Instead of the next man up, start talking about the next man coming. Because we all in the same agreement that we need somebody else to be coming over here to do what they do.
Right. And I think we only need one piece, not two. One major piece, because his rotation is only going to be but so deep anyway. We need one impactful piece that gets us over this hump because right now we beat the top two teams in the West. We beat Philly when Embiid was there. Okay, we got jerked on the first game of the year against the Celtics, so we should have had a win against them, and we beat the Pacers, the highest scoring team in the league. We showed we could get with the top teams. We beat the Heat, who beat us last year in the playoffs. We're right there, fellas.
Thanks.
Bully.
Yo.
You want to do a few shout outs real quick?
Yo, what up, the Long Island Sound One? What's going on, JJ? What up, Keith, man? What's up, Urban? Bodega Wi-Fi, what's popping, yo? I think I see GSJ in there and everything. And everybody else in the chat, man. Thank y'all for joining, man. Hit that like button, subscribe. Wacko, what up, man? How you doing? First of all, I want to say good morning to my man Ron, Mr. WBLS himself. Jay Boogie, of course, man. The best closer in the game. And my man Eric King. Pleasure working with you, homeboy, when I had the opportunities and whatnot. But and Freezie, of course, and my man Corey Lee right there. I think for real, we one piece away. All of y'all kind of simplify what I think all of us is thinking, man. We need some power off that bench, man. We need some reassurance there. I don't know about DeRozan coming, but if he want to come, I would love to have him. And homeboy over there with the Nets and with the Brooklyn Nets, Mikal Bridges, I'll take him too. He part of the Noble Boys. Tibbs got to fall back on running these dudes in the ground. I'm not saying he's doing it. I don't know if he's doing it purposely. That's just he probably thinking one way or whatever. But it's a fact that he does run his team in the ground. And by the time we get to the playoffs, man, we ain't got no legs, man. Our shots is falling short. Everybody's tired. Fatigue is a factor, and then there come the injuries and stuff. So we definitely without we have Randall. OG was definitely missed. You know what I'm saying? Even Conor Grimes was kind of missed and stuff. And they locked us down. Homeboy was getting double teamed all night long. Recipe for disaster because we don't want Brunson to get hurt. Then what's gonna happen after that and stuff? So we got to kind of preserve him, man. We got to get somebody that's a bucket for real, like Jay Boogie said, not the mop in the bucket. We need a bucket and whatnot. So I'm in total agreement with all of y'all. I mean, really, it's really not a take because y'all really said what y'all said. I mean, you know, y'all really made the point for everybody out there that's thinking the same like-minded way as a Knicks fan. We need some assurance. We need some assurance. We need a bucket off that bench. And if DeRozan comes here or whoever comes here and come off the bench, you come off the bench. But you coming off the bench for one as a team, a collective to win a chip, y'all. So think about that and stuff. Everybody want to be the man on the team, but everybody can't be the man on the team. Just flow with the water, man, and let's get this chip. You know what I'm saying? So I'm agreeing with all of y'all. Yes. Go ahead, Cole.
Okay. Good morning. Wow, I get to hear my voice now. Stop playing. But all I like is everybody has some dope takes, you know what I'm saying? And as far as me, everybody pretty much knows how I feel. You know, if we do make a big move, you know what I'm saying, I would prefer it to be something like a Mikal Bridges, preferably, if you're gonna jump out the window, because he can assimilate with those guys really quick. But also too, I'm looking more so on the buyout market. You understand what I'm saying? Because not saying I'm scared to spend as money we got, but it's about Leon Rose and the way he spends his money. Leon Rose is, Leon Rose. He's very frugal. So you got to understand that. He like what I think it was Jay Boogie. I think it's you said it or somebody, like, you know what I'm saying? He likes to go get great players from Dollar General. You understand what I'm saying? He ain't going to Whole Foods. You know what I'm saying? Not to say that he don't want to spend the money. He'll spend it if necessary. Now, as far as this Tibbs thing that you all brought up, I think Tibbs is doing a good job considering what he has right now. You gotta think he only had a 7-man rotation last night. And we're minus 3-4 players.
Hey, Lee, can I ask you a question about that? What you just said?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
After when I watched the game last night, not to cut anybody off to jump back in, but I think for the Lakers to struggle, with us like that, with Grimes out, with Mitchell Robinson out, with Randall out, with OG Anunoby out, and they barely pulled away from us in what we could say was a questionably officiated game.
Yes.
I think that puts us in that realm of when we healthy, ain't nobody stopping us, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, Lee, when you said that just now, because I was going to sit here and be quiet, but then when you mentioned that, I'm like, yo, Lee might be on to something, bro. I mean, hey, listen, I understand that we probably need to add a few more pieces. I think all championship contenders
just one
at this time of year think the same way. But for the mere fact that we are thinking like championship contenders,
yes,
adding pieces at the trade deadline might be.
I think we only need one piece. One piece.
I mean, the mere fact that we're in that mindset, think like a champ. Lee, I think you might have hit it on the head, bro.
Feels good.
And with that said, you know what I'm saying? Also, just add on the fringes. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking definitely at the buyout market. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking like Leon thinks. You know what I'm saying? If I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna get it at my price for what I want. You know what I'm saying? Because like they said, they got the proverbial Knicks tax. We're trying to skip all that. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to bypass all that and get what we need to get. Now, whatever it is, it comes. I'm not even gonna even start putting no names out there because I've said enough names. But if it comes, it comes. The Lowry, the CP3s, anybody, whoever's getting cut, they want to come to New York. I'm cool with it. I'm real cool with it. But I kind of want to zero in on Mr. King right here. Seems like I have him and I have your time. Now you told me about. I want to know, how did it come about that? How did you end up in that situation with being considered the #1 Knicks fan and getting that commercial on MSG? How'd that help?
Well, I was always entering a lot of different contests with Madison Square Garden. I was a season ticket holder. I was appearing a lot of places, being on camera. Other people was also submitting my name for different things. My representatives at the Garden was loving everything about me. They say I stood out. On the court at Madison Square Garden, I won 2 different competitions in trivias where I won $2,000 and got serenaded by the whole Garden a couple of times on the field. And Bernard King came out and hugged me, and they presented me with a big check and different things like that. And I will always enter a lot of different things. And I used to always, I remember when some of the Knicks staff came out one time to Clyde's Wine and Dine, and I met some of them there. So I was always in certain circles where I got noticed. And then the way I would dress, I was almost like a Knick billboard with the kind of stuff. And I would come with custom-made Knick suits that I got made in the store that wasn't brought off the rack. So even when I had an award show, I made custom-made Knick belts. This is a Knick championship belt. It says #1 Knick fan, in the world right here at the bottom. Everybody else had different titles on championship belt. This is hard leather, and it's a very heavy belt. It's not one of those plastic replicas. And I would come in the garden wearing it on my shoulder like this. And I
Yes,
had
sir.
tourists stop me when they take pictures. Fans stop me. This belt right here is signed by Spreewell and Bronson at a Knicks meet and greet event. They signed my belt. Bronson told me myself, that's one of the hardest Knick things I ever see. He said, yo, that belt is hard. All the Knicks fans was loving it. The Knicks staff took pictures where I had police officers stop me in the street. They say, yo, you truly are one of the top Knicks fans. And as I told you before we got on the air, I was telling one of the hosts, we got a running joke that we have in transit because people will come up to me and say, yo, you're not the #1 Knicks fan, Spike Lee is. And I will always come back and say, no, Spike Lee is the richest Knicks fan. I'm the #1 Knicks fan. I'll sue him for copyright infringement if he said different. So that's just a running joke we got going.
Yes, sir.
But, you know, they selected me. The Knicks fandom program called me up and asked me, could they come on my job? Could I get permission from transit and all that? We'd like to do a commercial on you and your job setting. Come down to the garden, in front of the garden. You saw a picture of me in front of the steps there. They took pictures from me there. My superintendents at my job in transit knows about me. I get teased by all levels of supervision, from my regular supervisors to the dispatchers to the superintendents, the general superintendents. Everybody calls me a #1 Knicks fan. When I went to get permission, the guy laughed at me. He says, are you kidding me? Of course you have permission. They can come on the job and film you. In fact, the superintendent wouldn't leave me alone about it. He kept calling me, when is the commercial coming out?
You wanted to be down in there when it was filmed, right? You wanted to get a quick little cameo.
Yeah, it seemed like it. He was so happy for me because one of the superintendents even comes to all my Knick parties. I do Knick events constantly every year. We had one at the Dean. We had one at Clyde's Wine and Dine. We had one at All Stars Bar and Grill down here by 59th, where we do a lot of meet and greets. We even do summer-themed Knick barbecues in Morningside Park. I mean, I'm so entrenched with this Knick thing. We take 3 or 4 buses every year to Philly, and we do a takeover in Philly. I'm just everything Mr. Knick. I was trying to get a design, and I'm still trying to do it, where I'm working with an artist right now to send in a design for a Knick mascot, because we don't have one. And I wanted to apply temporarily to being that mascot outfit in the garden.
Oh, word.
I'm trying to take it to that level.
That's what's up.
That's
That's what's up, bro. You gonna do it too. I already, man, bro. I think you're gonna do it.
People don't know the limits I will go to show my Knick fandom. I'm Knick. I sometimes had a hard time in my own group. It's called the Real and True Diehard Knick Fan Group, and we don't allow bashing in there. We allow a small amount of constructive criticism. No bashing, no cursing. None of that's allowed in the group, or you get suspended. But what some people couldn't take in the group, and I slowed down a little bit with some of the constructive criticism I had of the coach, that was my only problem I had sometimes with Coach Tom Thibodeau, because I just always feared the burnout. When Robinson got hurt this year, stay with me if y'all remember this. They took Robinson in the back locker room. He came back out and played. They took him back to the locker room one more time later in the game. He came out and played twice after he was hurt. That probably led to him missing all this time and having to get the surgery, because he made the injury worse. Why wasn't he sat down when you have Hartenstein and Sims on the bench? Why must you continuously put him back in the mix and then be defiant with it in the media? Same thing with Bronson. There were several times where him and Randall, whether we up by 30 or down by 30, is still in the game with 2 minutes left. Why? Why? I don't understand that. You do a good job of getting them to buy into your defensive philosophy. You're holding teams to less points and everything. But then to me, you mess it up by burnout because you're doing everything else right except in-game adjustments and rotation minutes. Those are the only two pet peeves I have with Coach Tom Thibodeau. And this is why this man scares me. And you have to pick up these extra pieces going in because if somebody falls down, like Jay Boogie says, you need a guy with buckets.
Mm-hmm.
I agree totally with what Jay Boogie says. I'm 100% behind what he said. You need another scorer. You get that with DeRozan. You get that with Bridges. Bruce Brown can score a little bit too. Tenacious defense. That defense will be even stifling with Bruce Brown because if you got Bruce Brown, OG, and Mitchell Robinson defense in that starting lineup, a lot of teams are going to have trouble scoring. Your only weakest link sometime on defense is Randall because sometimes he argues with the ref and don't get back on the play. Even though Bronx is not the strongest defender, he still gets you defensive plays. Why? Because he's number one in the league in taking charges. And that's defense. Okay, he does get steals in the passing lane as well. So that's defense. But I have one more debate, if you don't mind me saying, bringing up one more thing to y'all.
Rock on.
Take your time, man. You got the floor.
Thank you. I have a debate in my group, right? And it's been going on for the last 2 or 3 days. People were saying they had this love affair thing now, and I get it because I have a love affair thing with Hartenstein right now. But they were saying when Mitchell Robinson come back, Hartenstein should be the starting center. I disagree, and I'm gonna tell you why. Okay,
come on with it.
You get a small dose right now of Hartenstein, and he's a great asset to the team, and he's doing well. One, Mitchell Robinson is top 3 in the league every year in block shots. He's top 3 in the league in points around the basket, scoring his shooting percentage from where he shoots. He even deters shots even when he's not blocking your shot. So Mitchell Robinson is a force, and his impact on the game is definitely there. I want to run some other stats to you. All right, in the last 9-game win streak, okay, only 3 of those teams had winning records. That was Denver, Heat, and the Pacers. In the 9 games win streak, we played Houston, Washington, Toronto, Knicks, Denver, Heat, Hornets, Utah, Pacers. Only 3 of those teams are winning records in the top 8. Okay, now in the 18 games OG played, we had him for 18 games. He's played 15 of those. He's been out 3. We have 13 wins and 2 losses. In those 13 wins with OG, only 4 teams were playoff contending top teams. That was the 76ers, the Heat, and Denver. Actually, 3 teams because I got the Heat on here twice by mistake. It's the 76ers, Heat, and Denver. We have, in the 9-game win streak, 7 of the games were at home. Okay, out of the 9, with 7 games in the win streak, OG played in 9 games of his 15 games here at home, which is a different scenario when you're playing in the comforts of your home game. It's fool's gold to just say in that sample size of games when most of the teams we play in those win streak are not top teams. There's a lot of times you need your rim protector. Okay. As well as Hartenstein has played, he's not the same rim protector as Mitchell Robinson. Okay. And maybe when Mitch first comes back, because he won't have his legs and his stamina, but you don't lose your starting position due to injury. You lose your starting position on your play, not your injury. That's always been a rule if you're a factor. And I don't think that he should be on the bench behind Hartenstein because we were playing good when he was here. Okay, some of this win streak came because we also upgraded in his absence with bringing OG here. And it was a win-win for both teams because we was not going to pay quickly $100 million to be a backup behind Bronson, who had $104 million. Barrett went home to a very comfortable situation to his home team, home country, where he even plays for that national team. both him and Quickly are flourishing. Their numbers have went up since they was traded. It was a win-win for both teams. And Precious is not just a throw-in. Precious is
Like
so
Precious.
that's what I wanted to say as far as those guys. And I want to know how y'all feel. Do y'all share my same feel? Do you want Hartenstein to be a starter? Because to me, yesterday, it showed that the Lakers were at times also living in the paint. They had no fear. When Mitch is there, a lot of players a lot of times avoid the paint. You've often heard Todd Frazier say on the radio, when the cat's away, the mice will play. A lot of the times when he said Mitchell Robinson was on the bench. Hartenstein, as well as he's playing, and we do need him, he gives us depth. He's not Mitchell Robinson yet. How do y'all feel?
Jay Boogie, you want to answer that real quick?
Well, I just was talking to Queen yesterday, you know, on her private Batgirl line, you know, so she got a private. So I was just talking to her yesterday, and she asked me that very same question, which we had already been talking about it before and stuff like that. But I'm on board for having Mitchell have his position, you know, when he come back, because I would love to see Mitch being able to stay solid in his position instead of have to back up and protect everybody else in their position. I would love to see what it would look like with him and OG, you know what I'm saying, forming that together. And then if you ever needed a lockdown sense account, for those that don't know what that is, a sense account, they put your ID in the window and count you on the yard. If you put Donovan Mitchell, OG, Pac-Man, aka y'all call him Precious, Grimes, and Deuce on the floor, you know what I'm saying, for some late defense, that's a lockdown. That's 5 dudes that can play some serious defense for a good 2-3 minutes and wear somebody down and then bring back what you need to bring in. Hartenstein has done amazingly in his position. Yes. It was well needed, well deserving, and he should flourish in that position. He should have made a name for himself. He should have raised his stats as far as the money and all that right there. But I do believe that Mitch should continue on having his position when he come back, and let Hartenstein continue on being that dominant player coming off the bench and playing his role. The problem is, he's going to probably want somewhere around that Mitch money, and we all know that. So are we going to wind up paying $30 million to that one position? That's everybody's question, you know what I'm saying? But I leave it to the big mind. The big mind is Leon, because Leon is figuring everything out. I let Leon work those out and believe and have faith in Leon and what he thinks and what he say. And when you were speaking upon IQ and speaking upon RJ, you know what I'm saying? You got to get shots out to Leon and also include Obi Toppin, because nobody can say that Leon didn't send them guys, you know what I'm saying, in a position where they fit. He did right by all 3 of them guys. Let me just reiterate that. He did right by sending Obi over there to Indiana where he can run up and down, he can flourish. It's not our fault that he lost the starting position to another guy who I wanted on our team when he came out was Naismith, a guy that came up under one of my men's down here, that Jerry Stackhouse, you know what I'm saying? It's not our fault that he lost that position, but Leon did right by him. And he did right by RJ by sending him home and be amongst his family, his friends, his high school, his city and everything. And he did right by IQ by putting him in a position where he could be a starting point guard. So Leon, I trust Leon to make all the correct moves where both sides can be happy, you know what I'm saying? But I do believe that Donovan should continue on. I mean that that Mitchell should continue on having his position and find a way to see if we can keep Hartenstein and bring him off the bench to keep doing what he's doing. But one thing about it allows Mitchell to go ahead and play extra harder because you know I got somebody that really can back him up. So you don't have to lollygag no more, try to be safe with fouls and all that. Go extra hard, man. And just one more thing about when he was Mr. King was talking about the places that he's been and places where he go and situations he's been in. I always have to remind people, and I say it a lot, you know, people ask for blessings but never had themselves in position to receive their blessing. And everything he's saying is everything that's part of life. Once you have yourself in position, you can receive all types of blessings coming from any and every angle. But you must make sure you're in position. And Mr. King has been talking about how he's been in position. And that's why he's blessed so much today for the things that, you know what I'm saying, that coming his way. It's the positioning that he's putting in. And once you put yourself in position, the work will speak for itself. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Mr. King, everything he's doing and everything. And we're gonna talk about some other things behind stage, you know, and everything. Things that I'm not gonna bring forth right here, right now. But man, yeah, I would like Donovan. I don't know why I keep talking. Why I keep talking Donovan Mitchell, man? Stop saying that name, man.
He's gone, man. I ain't
So
thinking
am I
about him,
talking
man.
him into existence? I don't know. But yeah, Mitchell needs to keep his spot, man. Point blank, man.
I agree
You might
100%.
be whispering in Leon's ear real quick. That's what it is. That's what God's trying to tell you something.
Word.
Hey, Ron.
Word.
Hey, Ron, you want to add something to that? To to Mr. King's statement?
I mean, I would say right now, it doesn't matter to me, and I don't mean that like to not. I mean, I'm gonna answer it, but I'm like, either way, I'm good. You know, if Mitchell Robinson comes back and he's healthy, he starts, fine. If Isaiah Hartenstein starts, fine. Because the one thing I've noticed with both of these guys is Tibbs is going to play what makes sense at the time with regards to that. Because if you know, even when Mitchell Robinson has been doing great out there, fourth quarter of games, he'd be having Hartenstein out there in crunch time. He flip-flops, but he it doesn't really matter who starts. But I will say, the addition of OG, who is a very willing player, a willing passer and all that, benefits having Mitchell Robinson as the starter. Because, you know what I mean? That second unit is still a work in progress. There's still some holes in that second unit. And if we were just to deal with the team we got right now as is, Mitchell Robinson being with Deuce and some of these other guys, and who knows what's going to happen with Grimes if he's out for an extended period of time with that knee. It looks a little clunky, you know what I mean? Not a lot of movement going on there, not a lot of scoring. Hartenstein actually benefits the second unit in that regard. Whereas Mitch, you could put him in the starting unit. We already got all these other guys who can put up buckets and then move the ball naturally anyway. So even though I think the argument before was Hartenstein helps the offense flow, and I agree with that. He moves the ball. He helps put guys in position. He can do that with the bench. He could do that with the starters. The fact that we got OG now, who also can move the ball a little bit. I like the way he's willing passer. I think we okay. We okay either way.
I've seen a lot of similarities between Hartenstein and Robinson around the top of the key where they set the screens, because you got to remember, part of the reason of the adjustment thing we were saying earlier with Tom Thibodeau is that a lot of the Knicks at times look predictable. We always do the three-man weave around the three-point line, and then it's either ISO Randall or ISO Brunson with kick out to other players at the three-point line, sometimes against the shot clock. And that's what we were doing all the time. And then when we get into the playoffs, there's no adjustment. To where all the analysts were saying that. Robinson also, like I said, has one of the highest percentages around the basket, which means any of the misses, a lot of the stuff he was cleaning up, or he was getting the alley hoops scores, and he's also a deterrent on the other end to where he's either blocking your shot or forcing you into block miss. That's why he's top 3 in the league, and they called him the block nest monster for a reason. He doesn't interfere with having to have his own shot on offense. Randall, Brunson, DiVincenzo, and now OG will get all the shots they want. And that's why I want him there. And to your point you also made, you get more scoring on the bench when you have Hartenstein there, because you will have Hart coming off the bench. To me, Double D goes to the bench when you have this incoming player, because whoever we go spend a lot of, we do 2 players to trade for and spend a lot of draft picks, they're not coming over here to be on the bench. You're not giving away 3 or 4 draft picks plus Grimes and Evan Fournier for a bench player. You're not doing that. So whoever's coming, Double D goes to the bench. Him and Hart comes off. You got Hardestein coming off. You got Deuce. You got Precious. Your bench is now deep. We have holes in the bench right now because your bench are starters right now. That's why we have the holes in the bench.
Well,
Because
I was going to say, Eric, I think it depends on who we get. If we get somebody, because if we get Bruce Brown, I think DiVincenzo stays in the starting lineup.
You do?
Yeah. No, Brown's not supplanting DiVincenzo. DiVincenzo is the best of. He's better than Hart and he's better than Brown because he can do what they do and he adds offense. So I think he's earned that spot over him.
I agree with you there, but the argument that I used to hear, I think when Wally and Ingham talked was it was replacing Quickly's points off the bench to why they wanted to put Double D back on the bench. Bruce Brown was going to get that tenacious defense that
yeah. I see what you say, but I think that's a moot point now because Tibbs has changed the way he uses these guys. He's staggering the starters now. So now that the bench scoring, as long as you got good pieces, it doesn't matter too much because he's always going to have Brunson or Randall out there with the bench guys. So you know what I mean? It's not the same the way it was before. He staggered them so much that he's just mixing and matching. So it's either going to be one or two of those guys on the floor at all, like DiVincenzo and Brunson and or Randall. So I think at this point it's different.
I definitely agree with that part. I just don't know what he will do as far as the two guard with, depending on, like you said, one who's coming and what his defensive plan is, and if you want to score him, punch off the bench. When the playoffs start, baskets are hard to come by.
Right.
A team focuses on you for 7 straight games. They watch films. They know your tendency. That's why when last year we beat Miami Heat during the regular season, but in the 7-game series in the playoffs, we lost. They adjusted. We didn't. 7 games are strictly focusing on you. And it's a different season in the playoffs. We can do all this feel-good moments all season long, but when the playoffs come, if you don't have your act together, your rotation set, and people know what they're going to do, you're going to lose. Even if you beat that team during the season.
Hey, Bully, you got something? You got any more questions you want to ask Eric or the panel or anybody else on the panel?
Oh, well, what I really want to ask, well, I mean, this is for everybody. Who would be the most likely person to come here? I mean, if we really did have a chance to get somebody else, which I think we do, who would be that person? Like singling on that one person. I'm with you on DeRozan. I think if he comes here, I like him. I like DeRozan. I like Bridges and whatnot. But I think DeRozan would give us more of an impact because he got that mid range. His defense is a little ticky tacky, but he's definitely good on offense. And I think that would be the kickstart that we need to show up some of our bench and even as a starting role. So I believe in DeRozan. What y'all think?
DeRozan was the guy who I kept promoting the most in my group. I wanted DeRozan real bad. He also wants to be here. Bruce Brown put out a statement on the internet that he will fit great in Tom Thibodeau's system. He wants to be here. It's a no-brainer for Mikal Bridges. Those are my 3 top choices out of everybody I was mentioning before Brogdon, before other players. I even saw something on the internet right now where they was talking about how PJ Tucker would be a good fit.
PJ Tucker, wow.
Huh?
I know. I was just saying PJ Tucker. I was just thinking about that. Right, just thinking.
No, there was something I clicked on online, and they were saying something that he necessarily doesn't want to stay in the system that he's with the Clippers. They're not necessarily putting him up for a trade, but if he wanted out, they say they definitely wouldn't have him on the West Coast contender to where they would have to see him again. But they say he's a Tom Thibodeau type guy with tough defense. He would come over here and definitely be off the bench. That would be one who would be coming to be off the bench. But that would be an added piece. I definitely want to see what's in the buyout market too after the February 8th deadline. We could pick up one piece with the trade before February 8th and pick up the other piece on these free agent, these buyout pieces, and that gets us over the hump. Because to me, we right there with any team now. We right there with anybody we match up. Any additional piece comes, puts us over the hump, in my opinion.
Okay, Eric, now let me ask you a quick question. Let's reverse it. Now, what if we don't make a move? How would you feel about that, man?
I'm still comfortable because, like I said, if once we get all our pieces back, if we make no move, I'm still good because we haven't had the season yet with everybody. Because OG was a late addition, and so was Precious. They haven't played with Robinson. Last night, like y'all say, we were missing 4 players. Okay, with Mitchell Robinson, OG, and Grimes out, and Randall. We're missing 4 major players. Lakers do not win that game with those 4 players. I'm sorry, they don't. I sat there in the stands watching that game yesterday, and we went 4 to 5 minutes, I think, without a basket. We were stuck on 96 for a long time. That was the score, right? When we got stuck. If you got Randall
86,
in the game.
86.
Oh, 86. I'm sorry. I know it was something with 6. We were stuck on that for a long time. Okay, if you got Randall in the game, someone could get you buckets when they was double teaming Brunson like that, and even OG could score. Even Grimes could hit the open shot that some players was missing. We get buckets. We were stuck for a long time and we're still right there. It's not like they outscored us by much while we were stuck on 86. They wasn't scoring a ton either, but they stayed ahead of us. Okay. And I believe with them 4 players, we're that much stronger. That's a lot of points missing with OG, Randall, and Grimes. Mitchell's just going to give you a lot of defense, put back baskets.
I honestly feel like if we would have had OG and Grimes, we probably could have pulled it off last night.
Yeah,
it would have been ugly. It would have been ugly, but we probably could have pulled it off. But you
if
know,
we would have just had OG, we probably would have pulled it off, bro.
Yes.
Somebody to give LeBron a little bit more trouble. And not to say anything against Precious, because Precious played, once again, he played a hell of a game. He played a hell of a game. You know what I'm saying?
He makes us deeper. Because when those guys come back, you got Precious minutes coming in. He makes us deeper. He's high energy. He wants to play. He's at home. His friends and family here in the Bronx.
Yeah. Somebody said you knew him personally.
I mean,
hey, I followed his story.
Me personally, I thought Precious was all right. They was really doing some smart things that, you know, we could not count on. They took advantage of Josh Hart last night and not being a half-court player. They put him as the shooter and the score. You know, every time they switched, you know, and they was trying to get Reeves, but they was doubling Brunson and allowing Josh Hart to beat us. So if you take Josh out of that and you put OG as a different number, you know, I don't think it's had too much to do with Precious, you know, because you still needed the rebounding or whatever, but you just needed somebody that can make a bucket. You know, somebody that can hit the open shot or somebody that can get into the lane, which OG is starting to show us that he can get into the lane. I really look for OG to take off next year. You know, people they still doubting if we have a big 3 with them 3 with Julius Brunson, with Julius Brunson and OG. And I'm gonna say it is because now OG gets a chance to work on his game completely in the all season. He's in Toronto. He's always been the number 4. Even when it was Larry and when it was Fleet, it was Pascal. He still was number 4. And even when they got rid of Larry and they drafted Barnes, and you still have Fleet, Barnes, and Pascal, he still was number 4. But now he's in position where it's okay. Now I could be a 3. Let me go work on my game. Let me work on my handle. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't want to see him shooting, shoot jump shots in the all season. I want to see him patting that rock. You know what I'm saying? Being able to get to that rack, beating a man one-on-one off the dribble and everything like that, man. But I was always for DeRozan. You speak of DeRozan, but my thing was don't just go get DeRozan. Go ahead and bring Caruso with him. You know what I'm saying? So that way you have a solid point guard. Now if you put DeRozan in that starting lineup, you can still keep Devo as a shooter, you know what I'm saying, in that second unit, you know. but just giving me a major ball handler that has championship DNA, you know, something like that, you know. But I don't want to wait on the buyout because buyouts can be tricky. A buyout gives the other person a chance to go wherever he want to go. Now I know about the Nova ties, you know what I'm saying, but there's also Philly ties with Larry. So whatever move we make, we need to go ahead and make that move by the trade deadline Thursday. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Don't miss out on an opportunity without making trades somewhere that's going to, you know, stripping up this team and wait on a buyout, you know, with a couple of players because like I said, they can go anywhere they want. And there's rumblings, you know, about the guy over there, the light-skinned guy from Utah, you know, that comes off the bench, you know, shooting, getting his buckets. I don't want him unless you bring in a Lennox with him. I need a 2-punch. You know, so don't just go get that guy. But whatever we do, I'm good with whatever Leon is saying because he's proven the point that, you know, in due time, I'm going to make the right move, right decisions. And, you know, when people think we really need to really make a move, he didn't move when nobody had confidence in what Devo was going to do. And then he brought his OG and made a deal with Toronto when they said he couldn't get it done. And now we got 4 injury players that can't come back. I just need somebody that can just give Brunson a breather. Give him a breather where he doesn't have to work so hard, you know what I'm saying? Because last night took his toll. Could you imagine if it was early in the season and they did that to Brunson, he was looking like he was looking, if we had a back-to-back tonight? Could you imagine what that would be? You know what I'm saying? And Brunson's not going to not play, you know what I'm saying? And in the next game, you know, Tommy T was going to put him out there another almost 40-something minutes. So, you know, I need to get another guy where he can get off the knees a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Relax just a little bit, man. And for somebody that can fill the spot, he got to be able to do things. I'm cool with Burks. I'm cool with Alex Burks.
I like Alex Burks too.
You know what I'm saying? Just a small move. And I'm not giving up nothing in the first round for Burks. Those are all second round picks. You know, for somebody that's been here, that knows the system, knows the coach staff, knows the city, and is familiar and is not afraid to play up under pressure the lights, you know what I'm saying, and keep other guys still in their same positions, man. But we're in a great position to do what we need to do for everybody. This is a great season, no matter what. Ask the question, what if we don't make a trade? This is a great season because we still got all our access that we kept from the OG trade. So we still can make major moves in the off season, you know, like I like to call it the on season, because it's so easy to play basketball, but it's hard to make decisions inside that billion-dollar corporation and make sure it's satisfying to the team. And then you got to deal with the fan base. When Leon keeps not listening to the fan base and doing what he does, that's what's making him a great chess player. I don't have to blur out what I want to do. I don't have to let nobody know the move. You see the moves that I'm making, they speaking for themselves, you know what I'm saying? So, and give Leon his money. I can't leave off the show today without saying, give Leon his money. He needs his money. He deserves his money, man. Pay the man. He's in position, and they just sat down with the clutch guy and all that.
Yeah, that was another thing I was about to speak on. Yeah, that was another thing I was going to speak on. What y'all think about that? With Leon and the clutch, I mean, with clutch sports management, how they sat down and negotiated, well, you know, hashed out their differences. What y'all think about that?
Well, I think that's big because a lot of times before you had people who wasn't willing to sit down and talk and couldn't get things done. That only makes it better for our organization, and it opens up the market even bigger with more players, a bigger pool of players that we can get. If you remember when Isaiah Thomas was here and he was running the team, you had at least, I think they said it was about 12 to 13 teams that wouldn't trade with him. You know, from what happened with the old deal that he did with the other league, plus anybody who was friends of Larry Bird and Michael Jordan wouldn't do any business moves with Isaiah Thomas. What Leon did just now was big because this allows him to have a bigger crop of players to bring in to the team that may be a perfect fit, that because they under Clutch Sports, they wouldn't even talk to us. So to me, that was big. And I just want to comment on something else that Jay Boogie just said, because he mentioned the guard that he would like to see come in with DeRozan if DeRozan is the choice. My pick to come with DeRozan, if we can get to from that team, was Drummond. Because the situation of not knowing fully if Mitch was coming back or not, and you need another solid player who was a rebounding beast and a guy on defense and can also get you buckets on the other end. It's a down low presence or whatever. I would have liked a 2-for-1 with getting Drummond and DeRozan from Chicago, since Chicago is cleaning house. And they kind of hit the reset button. They need a lot of draft picks. All our draft picks we got, we can't use for players because we don't have spots for them to come in. We got players locked in those positions for years to come. And I want to say something else that Jay Boogie just touched on. He said some people didn't believe in us still having a big three. A question now about OG, Randall, and Bronson. I can't listen to these people because the people who are saying that are not paying attention to the stats. Since we got OG in the small sample size, he had the biggest plus minus in the whole entire league. So he was already effective with two guys who are all-stars on our team. One a superstar in Bronson, the other one in Randall, and now they're talking about having Bronson in MVP discussions. So these people who are talking to me are not knowledgeable basketball players. Yes, it was a small sample size and only 4 of the teams were contending teams, but I'm glad it was some of the lesser teams he also played while he's building chemistry and get acclimated to the team. You know, but for him to not recognize a big three, Jay Boogie, they crazy.
Well, I'm going to say this, you know, well, we say we don't really mess with BSPN over here. Yeah. and we don't listen to them clowns on TNT because, you know what I'm saying, we don't listen to them too tough. You know what I'm saying? We, amongst ourselves, really come to each other and get information from each other about what we see.
All of y'all.
You know what I'm saying? Amongst the fans, the other content creators. You know what I'm saying? I can speak for maybe Bully and maybe myself. You know, that we really don't, I don't take, especially Hambone Smith. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I can't do him too tough. So we don't, that national media stuff, I'm telling you like this. When it comes down to it, I'll play the results of the victories will show. And then all of a sudden we'll get our love. I'm only gonna give a shout out to one person out there in the national media, and that's Kendrick Perkins, because he always keeps to the buck. And that's it. That's the only one that I'm gonna give props to. But outside of all of that, gentlemen, is there any more comments, concerns, issues, anything y'all want to get off the chest real quick?
Corey Lee, and my Knick group, Corey Lee, we gave an honorary Always a Knick fan award to, honorary Always a Knick to Kendrick Perkins. And our Knick group, because we recognize, because we always say, oh, you know, once a Knick, always a Knick. He was never a Knick, but we gave him an honorary one because he has been steadfast. At one time, the only one completely defending us. Jalen Rose was doing it at one time a little bit, and it used to be Kenny Smith, who kind of turned bigger. Now, ironically, Barkley and Shaq is giving us a lot of, especially with Bronson, and they give credit to Coach Tom Thibodeau. They've been actually bigging us up, to my surprise, you know. So I definitely giving it to them, and I love Miss Monica McNutt, who I met person a couple of times. I got a little crush on her too, but you know that's another story.
Who don't, man? Say the line, homeboy. Say the line, homeboy.
But I wonder why you said that you think Kenny Smith is bitter. Why would he be bitter?
Because for one, he it seems like ever since he wasn't selected to be one of the coaches of the Knicks, it was a little twist since that point.
Wow.
I knew the answer. I just wanted you to say it.
Thank you.
You know, he went from being one of the biggest defenders when he used to kind of go at Shaq and Barkley when they would have a lot of comments against us, mainly Shaq, because I think Barkley just speaks his mind, what he really believes. And actually, some of the things Barkley has said before in the past was kind of true. He may sometimes say it in a way that was too much for us to take at times.
Right.
But I think that's a little bit why he's bitter. Him, because I don't believe the statement that he said, and what's the female, was it Becky who said the statement
Becky
that
Hammond
wasn't a superstar?
Becky with the good hair.
Yeah,
Becky said it, Kenny said it, and there was one more. I think it was another female, right?
Oh, we don't talk about her. We don't talk about Bruno.
No, Candace Parker.
Right.
Candace Parker
Said these statements. You bugging if Brunch is not a superstar. He's putting up superstar numbers. He is an A1 player. If we expecting that we can win now, and Brunch is the biggest star on the team, and we say we only missing one piece, then how can we not win with them when CBS Sports just put us #1 in NBA power rankings?
Facts.
Well, I'm to your point.
Okay. So I don't understand a point. A lot of people do not pay attention to detail. Okay. Listen, bro. There's another person I want to give a shout out to that I believe doesn't get enough recognition, and just stay with me for this and hear my reason for a minute. Okay. Now, some of you might think I'm bugging, but I'm going to say this, and just let me say the reason why. I want to give a shout out to Steve Mills, and I'm going to tell you why. Okay. Steve Mills, for a lot of years, was guilty by association because he was bringing the Knicks organization for a lot of years. But what some people don't remember was he was second fiddle and not calling the shots. The 1 year that he actually started calling the shots, a lot of the picks that Leon Rose had to work with was acquired through Steve Mills, which he's not going to get credit for a lot of this turnaround. He only was in position of leadership for 1 year. He acquired a lot of picks when he dealt Shumpert and J.R. Smith to Miami Heat. He got other picks for other players, KP, different things and stuff like that. Leon Rose had a plethora of picks besides the one he also acquired, adding on to the Steve Mills trade. We made a lot of moves also due, in fact, the Steve Mills, and no one brings up his name. And I think he should get a lot of credit for this turnaround too, because Leon Rose walked into an arsenal of picks because of moves that Steve Mills did. Okay, he was only 1 year in charge. So you can't blame him for all those bad years that they wanted to say, oh, we had to clean house Steve Mills. He was never calling the shots. He only called shots for 1 year. So I wanted to give him a little bit of love while we giving love to people like Kendrick Perkins and others too. Steve Mills deserves some credit, and his name is never mentioned. And that's what I want to say on that part.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, cool.
We about to you got something, Billy, real quick, bro?
Oh no, I just gonna say, that's why I did the remix to Breaking News. And what that does, it pays homage to us. You know what I'm saying? It pays that song pays homage to Ian Beckton, Dexter Henry, Bill Pito, Alan Hahn, Wiley, and Monica McNutt. I made that song for those. See, when Rose break that nose, I don't listen to him to break down and tell me about the Knicks. I wait for them to get it and let us know what's going on. Then they pass it off to us so we can chop it up in the streets. Because the ones that's in the big phrases, you know what I'm saying, the big shows, you know what I'm saying, they're not going to keep it right. And when we playing when we playing how we playing, I don't want you to keep it right. I want you to get it right when we're not doing good. See, those are the real. We're not playing up the par. We're still here, like us, fans that can say and speak how we speak now, because we've been through the mud and the rain. But Denzel say to get through the rain, you got to get through the mud. We done been through all that there, you know what I'm saying? And that's why we can talk and feel how we feel and brag how we brag and talk and wear our fashion and our design and rocking and everything how we want to, because you know what I'm saying, we know when the Knicks is doing good, you know what I'm saying, that's the biggest story it is in the NBA. All the way back to Mitch getting his high school coach, moving them in to the Brunson story. We're the biggest story this year in the league, point blank. So I just want to remind people, you know what I'm saying? It's us against the world, baby. All eyes on us, man. You know, matter of fact, a lot of y'all need to go get a lot of my catalog that I got up there, you know what I'm saying? And instead of waiting for the podcasters to play them, go get them J Boogie anthems I got. They all
J
streams
Boogie
everywhere.
anthems is dope, y'all.
Nowhere you cannot have. When you go into a New York Knicks game, you should be riding to a Boogie anthem, point blank. You know, but it is.
Support J Boogie, got dope music, y'all. For real. Go get that, y'all.
Yes. I can't wait to hear more of it. I can't wait to do a project with J Boogie. I can't wait.
Be disappointed, yo, E, you ain't gonna be disappointed, homeboy. J Boogie got fire.
Oh, I can tell already.
Yeah, Jay got fire, yo. And pick up on some of his stuff, man. He got some.
I believe it. That's why I want to work with him.
Yes, sir.
Okay, listen, we're gonna be trying to wind down a little bit, fellas, because we gotta get up out of here. We've been a little bit longer than we normally do.
Yo, hold on. Yo, Cole, real quick, Cole. Yo, E. E. Some of your discussions at the crew rooms is legendary, homeboy. I just want to let you know that. I told you that on the telephone. I ain't gonna say where, but it's legendary. You heard? All through the system,
we rocked the room a couple of times there.
Yes. That's a fact. That is a fact. Legendary, y'all. That boy right there.
This show right here with the 781 boys is legendary. I like this setting.
Well, come on in anytime.
Man.
Open door
policy. Hey, Eric. Hey, say the name of your Facebook page one more time.
It's called The Real and True Diehard Knicks Fans.
The Real and True Diehard Knicks Fans. I'll put it in the chat. The Real and True Diehard Knicks Fans.
I'm gonna tell you an interesting story about that real quick before you sign off. That wasn't the first name of the group. Out of frustration, the first name of the group was Fire Coach D'Antonio. Once he was fired, he changed it to the Real and True Diehard Knicks Fan Group.
Okay.
That's what's up.
And it's been that way ever since then, because I was so tired of that coach at the time.
Hey, Mr. King, I'm going to put my information in the private chat, man. You can go ahead and snatch that off.
Yes.
Yo, Ron, I wanna give you and Divine some flowers on the BSPN. Y'all coined that phrase. I'm gonna just give it out there to y'all, man. I heard that from Ron and Divine from Knicks Real Talk and Ron from Still Fans Knicks TV, y'all. That's their phrase.
Hey, man. I'm not gonna take credit for that because I don't know where I heard it or what, but I'm telling you, it's real.
I heard it from
if there was ever anything I heard that was real, that's real.
ESPN, I like that. It's real.
But while we got this little love, Ron Harper, my man, you want to take you got any last little comments, concerns, questions?
Say whatever you gotta say, homeboy.
Hey man, just want to say once again, thank you for having me. I think we gotta stay steady, stay fast, steadfast with our team, man. We got a good squad. Don't let the naysayers and the BSPNs of the world try to get us down and put negative thoughts in our head, man. Our team is rocking. We good. We're gonna take a loss here and there, but just think of how good we're playing. Struggling, fighting, and have a chance to win in all of these games, no matter what that we win in them. But even when we lose, we right there, man. And we don't even got the pieces. We fight. You know, I'm digging it.
Yeah, just to share with y'all real quick, and I'm gonna get out the way. Y'all know why we lost that game last night, right? I'm gonna tell you why we lost that game. I'm gonna tell you exactly why we lost that game. See, somebody let that black cat in there. And when they let that black cat in there, remember the last time he was in there? We was losing, and that black cat left. When that black cat left, if you listen to Breaking News, the remix, it tell you when that black cat left, that 21-point lead went away. That black cat stayed in that game yesterday, and we lost that game. That black cat ain't got no business in our building, man. I don't know who let him back in and start sliding up in there. We don't need you and want you around when we doing what we doing, man.
Yeah, they say we are cursed with him. We are cursed with him. That's why he starts doing that fake praising every now and then. It's like, please shut up.
Let me do the. I got you, Corey. Let me do my little contribution to the show and to my fellas here. Let me read this super chat here.
Thank
thank you to the art man formerly known as Steve for your generous contribution. Shout out to you, blessing the 718 boys and Blorange Tears. He said Leon needs to make 3 phone calls. First one to Forney, second one to Grimes, say thank you. Third one to Landry Fields to get DeJounte. Last night showed a lot. We need another dog on the team. Y'all peeped DJ M last night. I actually did not. I was too caught up in the Knicks. I don't know what he did. So I don't know what happened there.
What he been doing?
I'm definitely gonna look.
Been doing.
Got him busy.
He trying to play his way out of Atlanta, pretty much.
Isn't he favored to go to the Lakers?
That's what they say.
Nobody knows who's gonna go where. We don't know what until.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying the speculation isn't the rumor that he's favored to go there.
BSPN said last night that trade is not likely.
It's not likely.
They said last night before the game in the pregame, the guy from Golden State, the Golden State Warriors executive,
Mr. Meyer.
He said that trade is probably not likely to happen.
Yeah, they don't want to give up Reeves. They not giving up Reeves. They still thinking, you know what I'm saying, Kenneth Reeves can go inside that phone booth and turn into Superman.
But you know what? I know you got to get to the next show, Freezie, and or whatever you guys got going on. But I just want to say, I wouldn't give up Reeves either. After what I saw Reeves doing last night, that team was, Reeves was orchestrating. So that kid is good. So,
yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. So we're not gonna do the old school Knicks because we had Eric and Jay Boogie and Ron here today, and so that's the reason why we was rocking over a little bit. We thank everybody for coming through.
Thanks, man. I appreciate y'all,
and everything, man. Y'all touched on so much stuff this morning, bro. That's
crazy.
Yes,
I did.
Shout out to
y'all.
AD,
I thank y'all so much for having me, man. This was fun.
No,
thank you. You got my vote, E. You got my vote, E.
It's like this all the time, bro. It's the same energy all the time, bro. This is 24/7 Knicks energy right here.
Thanks.
Yeah, man. I had set my alarm clock just to get up to be on your show.
Yeah, man.
Bro.
You know what?
I wanted to make sure I didn't miss it.
I got a quick question before I get out of here. Just Eric, do you watch a lot of YouTube content creators?
Yes, I go through YouTube a lot.
No, the reason why I wonder, because we always talk about this as content creators. We are a huge Knick community, but we got a huge Knick fan base. And for whatever reason, there's a lot of Knick fans that support and love our New York Knicks, but I don't think they see the content on YouTube or they don't really pay attention to. So I always wondered, why that is. If people see it, if people pay attention. So that's why I wanted to ask you, because I know you got a Knick fan group. And you are a super fan, so I just wondered, do people ever watch any of the content on YouTube?
Well, in my group, a lot of people have posted a lot of YouTube content group. I have a very active group, and not trying to toot my own horn. A lot of people say I have the best Facebook Knick group as far as Facebook group. I don't have the biggest, but I have the best. I'm one of the biggest, but my group is very active. And we do a whole lot of things. I mean, we're everywhere. I mean, when I throw a meet and greet, it's packed. We go a lot of places. We stomp. We make noise. We do videos. I got video on YouTube myself. The song featuring Black Poet. I got the song with Shane Ashley. Then I got the Knick commercial. We do a lot of stuff, and I'm working on another one that I want Jay Boogie in real bad. You know what I'm saying? So, in fact, I want the whole panel to come and be in the video. I want all y'all. And as I was telling Corey Lee earlier, or was it one of y'all I mentioned too, we going to Charlotte next year, and we going to Philly next year. And I would love this show to come film and do a whole question thing where everybody on all 3 of the buses and everybody else that flies out to Charlotte. We're gonna do a special thing, and even come down when we're filming the next rap video.
Bim,
all right,
Bim, that easy.
I would love that to be on the 718 Boys show because this show is rocking.
Thank you, bro.
So let me do this real quick. Let me do this real quick. So I added the Facebook group to the chat. If you are so inclined and interested, please check out the group, see if it's something that you want to do. If you want to continue the Knicks conversation about multiple topics in a place that's free of bullying and a place that's safe for you to go out and just speak your mind or whatever,
Watch
look
your mouth.
check out the link, check out
That's
the
right.
link, and answer the questions. And then once the group sees that your questions are satisfactory, they'll allow you to enter that Facebook group. And what I also want to say is also is that Blorange Tears is, I think Blorange Tears is the best Knicks YouTube channel on YouTube. But of course, what would you expect Uncle Freezie to say? But there are others. There are others like Still Knicks
That's right.
fans,
That's right.
Knicks Fan TV, Nothing But
That's
Knicks,
right.
a whole bunch of other groups
Two Knicks
out there that you can,
KOT.
if you are so
Yeah.
inclined, right?
Mhm.
Of course, we want you to subscribe to here, Still Knicks fans, Nothing But Knicks, and whoever you like. Make sure that you, and this is my call to action, right? And so when you come through, hit the like button, show your appreciation, because if we feel as if it should be a thing that's reciprocated. We offer this thing to you guys in exchange. You guys give us something that's free, and that's love and that like button, right?
Right.
Give us that, and to help these channels grow, and that way, the bigger we get, the more we'll be able to provide you with the dope content that you guys like and deserve, like the biggest Knicks fan in the universe, Eric King,
Yes, sir.
and the 718 boys early on a Sunday morning, and my man fresh back from Maui, Ron from Still Knicks fans, all of them, Ron, John, Juan, LeBron, Don, all of them, John, Juan, all of them are Still Knicks fans.
Mm-hmm.
My bad.
Yo, every show y'all do from now on will be posted in my group.
Them.
Hey, that's what it is.
What's up.
That's the I'm pending approval right now, so please let me in.
I am too.
Listen,
I'm pending too.
not only will you be letting the group, but you're gonna have post approval. You don't have to wait for an administrator to approve your post. I trust you
There
guys.
you go.
Oh, appreciate, because I don't want to do no promotions and stuff like it getting on fighting the man. I know y'all strict about that stuff.
No. This is different. You have a TV show thing. Post that in there. That's not like another Nick group on Facebook just coming in trying to steal my members and bring to you. This is
I hear you. I got you.
Show. Post away, my brother.
I
got you. Post approve. Any one of y'all in my group, do what the hell you like in my group. I love this show. This is what's needed. Y'all get great insight to where a lot of the stuff on the BSPN and all that other stuff is scripted.
Appreciate it.
Bully and Corey Lee every Sunday morning. Bully and Corey Lee every Sunday morning.
Mm-hmm.
That guy right there. That guy right there.
This is what's
up. Shout out to my homeboy Tito.
Yo, shout out to my homeboy Jose. What up? Nah, man, I had
will be sipping after the fact.
Hey, Ron, real quick, are y'all doing something for the trade deadline?
We are gonna figure out how to do it. There's a lot of interesting stuff going on for the trade deadline. I gotta see how we can make it happen, because I think the trade deadline is Thursday, right?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
And the Knicks have I think the Knicks play Thursday as well.
Dallas Mavericks.
Yep. We'll figure out a way. We'll figure out something.
At home.
Yeah.
At home too.
Yeah, man.
Wow, look at the team we playing, the Dallas Mavericks. Bronson wants that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Gotta have it.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta have it.
Because he didn't play the last game they played, right?
No,
he played in Dallas, and he was mad that we lost that game.
Now,
Kyrie got stupid. Kyrie dropped 40.
Yeah, I thought he didn't play that game.
No, Bronson played.
Bronson played. Luka didn't play. Luka
played bad in the first half. He played bad in the first half, bro.
Yeah.
You saw the emotions on his face at the end of the game when he didn't win against his former team, but he appreciated the love when all the players came up to him, hugging him like crazy.
Yeah. That was the game that Tom Thibodeau waited to double team Kyrie to the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
nobody instead of what the Lakers did last night and double team Brunson all game.
Exactly.
Yeah, man.
That's a fact.
Yo, I like this little pocket, bro. You know what I'm saying? Boulevard and Corey Lee Sunday mornings. 10 to 11:30, bro. It's a vibe, bro. It's a vibe. You know what I'm saying?
I want to thank all of y'all
Brunch
for
on
coming
Sunday.
through on the behalf of my homeboy. I want to thank all of y'all for coming through. That's a fact. Eric, man, you know what it is. You got my vote, homeboy. Definitely Corey, man. You know you my dude. Ron, Jay Boogie, of course, and the man behind it all, Freezie. Well, Building Blocks, what up, man? What up to the chat, yo? Cowboy
There you
Bob,
go.
good.
Yeah, man.
I was waiting on that. I'm waiting. Yo, you shout out Stevie Wonder because I like the thank and I like the thank.
And I like that thing. Now, Building Blocks, what's up? Urban, what's up? Cowboy Bob, man, you woke up late. Get a late pass, homeboy. You know what I'm saying? Yo, King Rippy was good. King Rippy was good. Bodega Wi-Fi. Yo, what?
To all my people.
Okay.
Oh, my bad.
Yo,
I thought Stevie Wonder was talking. My bad.
Shout out to the whole
I thought
chat.
Stevie Wonder was talking at the Grammys. My bad.
I see what you.
Please, we thought Stevie Wonder was talking at the Grammys.
Yo, that's funny.
At the Grammys.
I like
the old school cats get that one. That's funny. I got you.
That was a good one. That was a good one, dude. That was a good one.
I just want to say thank y'all very much to the whole entire panel, to my brother Freezie. You know what it is, Tito. And that ain't Michael Jackson's Tito. That's my Tito.
Yeah.
And,
all right, Jose. It's all good.
And Eric King, thank you very much, you know what I'm saying, for the #1 Knick fan. You know what I'm saying?
Good,
what can I say? This has been another 718 Boys show. Uncle Freezie,
you're late.
Everybody else out there, and like my wife like to say, attitude's everything. Freezie, take me out of here.
Quiet money.
Thank y'all for coming out. God bless. Good night.
Let's see if